Hey everybody, sixth attempt at a post. Crazy morning. Obstacles do not block the way, they are the way. Pretty deep shit. Wanted to share that. Now, I'm going to remember part of that in a minute, come back to it, because that's what this is supposed to be about. Happy Mother's Day to anyone who has been pregnant, to anyone who has birthed a baby, to you lovely people that care enough to adopt a child. If you're not able to have a child, if you have fur babies, if you have reborns, if you have either a relative or a non-blood relative that you care for like a mother, or that looks to you like a mother figure, all of us, because I fit in some of those categories, and I think I and everybody else out there deserves that happy Mother's Day. It's not just about having a child, it's about the caring that goes into being a parent to that child. And that's one of my obstacles. I have a 20-year-old, my little buddy. He has Down syndrome, and I've been a huge obstacle in parenting him. As a matter of fact, I have been my own worst enemy, thank you, Pink, and my own biggest obstacle in life. But things tend to turn, everything has a season, that kind of stuff. And life tends to change, it's life happens while you're making other plans, all those other good quotes. But yeah, I've been my own obstacle. I had a rough childhood, but nothing like some of the people I know. My dad, I never realized he had major depressive disorder. I know mental illness, like bipolar and things like that, ran on my mom's side of the family. Her mother was very, very ill in an era where there was very little medicine, treatment, things like that. My father's side, that's where alcoholism and depression and that comes from. So that did affect my childhood, but it didn't, I could only use that as a crutch for so long after I grew up enough to realize, hey, I'm making my own choices. I can't blame mom and dad anymore. That's when it fell on me. I'm looking for a lighter. Yep, that's a hopeless cause. I can't poof enough to get that back. Pardon me for just a moment. Okay, lighter found. I don't think my post would be my post if I didn't fumble with my hair, drink coffee, and smoke at least one cigarette. So I'm going to fumble a little bit, and if it doesn't look like I want it to, I'll fumble some more. Alright, we're going to go with that for a minute. I would bet most people know someone who has what seems to be that perfect life. It's like everything they touch turns to gold, and everything goes their way. And it's like, how? Did they not have obstacles, or did they maybe just not have my obstacles? But as I said, having been my own worst enemy, mental illness, that is a factor. But I'm hard-headed. I've always been rebellious. So how many times did I have to kick my own ass or slip a cag on myself for me to finally learn to be humble, to try to let shit go and try to make myself better and get it in check? Way too long. Give you just a little tiny bit of back history. when I was 26, they didn't have the diagnosis yet for, let me see, postpartum, let me get it right, not postpartum depression, but postpartum psychosis. Yeah, I breastfed my son for almost a year, and then when I stopped those hormones and chemicals, I'd been making those mommy hormones and chemicals for, 2 years basically. Carrying a child for 37 and a half weeks and then breastfeeding 12 days short of a year. And then you hit that right age too. A lot of people, statistically, if you're going to become schizophrenic or bipolar, it's going to happen right there around those mid-20s. So that was when I lost myself. I was just in a world of hell. I was working, I was trying to mentally and emotionally accept having a special needs child. Now, there was a lot that happened between his birth and his third birthday. I'll talk about that another day, otherwise I will just completely come apart. But trying to deal with that and growing up and being emotionally a lot more immature for my age than a lot of people were. We're individuals. We have our own tricks. But I was always told Terry was a nervous child, and I knew I was different. I just didn't know why. And then the postpartum psychosis, and didn't know why I was flipping out. And my best friend, my niece, Mindy, who will be gone 11 years in about a week. Yeah, about a week. She was there, and she saw me in the middle of a complete and total meltdown, come apart, breakdown. And she knew I was like the anti-pill, the anti-drug. I wouldn't even take a Tylenol sinus for, sinus problems, allergies. I don't know why. I was just the anti-medicine, period. Well, she saw that breakdown, and she came to me, and she's like, look, I know you don't take pills. I know you don't do anything like that. But I would never, ever give you anything to hurt you. And right now, the level of come apart you're having, she cried and she begged me. She's like, please, just trust me. And I took 0.5 milligram of Xanax. And that was the first time in my entire life that I had relaxed. The first time in my life that I had peace. And once I got a hold of that peace, I was not about to let it go. And self-medicating initially saved my life. I was that suicidal. Even having a child, that little part of it was from that psychosis, that shit. Anyway, now it turned out ugly. It ended up starting the addiction cycle. But, having gotten past that, I don't really want to go too deep into the addiction. It's still very touchy. It's embarrassing. I hate that it ever happened. Came to terms with it and everything, but it's still a very touchy subject for me. I haven't touched a crack pipe. April 4th made 6 years. And then the opiates, I'm about 5 years to the good on that. So, those are huge accomplishments. but it still sometimes feels like yesterday, even though some days it feels like forever ago. So that's as much as I'm going to say about it today. But we were going to talk about obstacles. And God knows I've had plenty of obstacles. I've created obstacles. I've been my own obstacle. Like I said, I'm hard-headed. I had to be humbled. But just seeing that quote, that I can't remember now, that it comes back to me, or to me, it comes back to the fact that I feel like I said maybe in a previous post that maybe it's not so much about the journey as the destination. And the obstacles are making me stronger. The obstacles have made me who I am. And I am so much better than I was 6 years ago, 5 years ago. So know that obstacles can be overcome. You don't get sick overnight. You don't get well overnight. Just got to keep trying. If you feel alone, I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, but my Gmail, it'll be in the little the description, and I check it about every other day. If you reach out to me, if I can't help you, I can point you in a good direction. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Obstacles suck, and sometimes we do need help to get over them, even if we are our own obstacle. Luckily, I have a couple of people that I really trust that have earned that trust and that respect. People that have stood the test of time. And when I feel like I'm really going off the deep end, I do reach out for help. So anyways, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Don't hate the obstacles, maybe learn from them if you can, and keep pushing. If you've made it this far, you're stronger than you probably realize. You're beautiful, you're wonderful, you deserve love. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Maybe hit the, thumbs up. Maybe subscribe, hit the bell, and maybe we can get through this together. I love you guys, I really do. Smooches and deuces from Sweet Home Alabama, y'all. I'll talk to you guys again soon.